to whisper. Let's get closer, y'all. Have everything adjusted right. He's alive. Even the trees lift their branches high to the heavens above, in perfect harmony with the Creator of the world. But there's just something about my praise He loves, and there's just something about the way I speak His name, Jesus, although hosannas and hallelujahs, they are sung to Him by the angels above. But there's just something about my praise. There's just something about my praise. The Lord has been so real to me. He's given me a special kind of love. And I have one to thank my Father for, and all the angels in heaven above. For I've been for a cleansing, oh Lord, in that crimson stream of blood. And that makes my praise a little something special to the Father above. And just because you're His child, there's just something about my praise He loves. And there's just something about the way I speak His name, Jesus, Jesus, although hosannas and hallelujahs, they all sung to Him by the angels above. But there's just something about my praise. There's just something about my praise. There's just something about my praise He loves. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm going to sing another song in just a moment. Thank you for joining. Please share it. Tonight is going to be very, very, very enlightening. Tonight we have Chris, a former staff member from the cult JMMI, and the cult leader David E. Taylor. And so I'm on a mission because I exposed them to my Facebook page. I thought they were for real. They had my friends list, and they're nothing but a fraud, okay? And so I'm on a mission right now to expose them. So I want you to share this Facebook Live. At 7 o'clock, the former staff member will get on here, Chris. He's going to share some enlightening things that I was absolutely blown away by. Now, I scheduled this for 7 o'clock, so a lot of people won't be on till 7 o'clock, and he will be on at 7 o'clock. But I wanted to come on a little bit early and do some worship. And then I have a family member that's going to call in, and they're going to discuss some of the things that David E. Taylor has been saying about my character, which my family members, my friends, my close friends would know if I had issues with certain things. So they're going to come on just for a few moments and just share. Of course, they said he just went live. That's kind of what he's been doing, trying to distract everybody from coming to hear me. But guess what? The truth will set you free. Over here's the truth. Come on in, because the truth will set you free. You can watch his rerun later. So that's going to happen tonight. I'm going to do some more worship. But please share If you know anybody that's connected to this ministry, if you know anybody, what I want to do right now, if you just give me a moment, I need to share this onto my other page right now real quick, because I've not done that. I forgot I meant to do that, so we'll get some more. So, because I always tell them I'm going to do it, and then I forget sometimes. So give me a second. Let me share it to my other page. Yes, I'm over 50. I wear readers. Yes, I do. So let me get this and copy it over. Okay. Okay, so now it's on my other page. Fantastic. So more people will join. Yeah, I normally was going to come on at 7 tonight, and I'm scheduling every night 7 o'clock. We've got 2 spiritual daughters that's going to be on this week that they were full just like me. He told them he loved them. You know, we got all the same copy and paste, you know, and you know, be quiet, you know, because you know, church people are messy and that whole game. So please share. I'm going to sing another song, and then I have a family member going to call up at let's see, what time is it? They're going to call in at 6:45. So let me do a little bit of worship. In the meantime, share, and then we'll be back. Actually, at 7 o'clock, we'll have that former staff member going to join us. Okay? All right. Somebody wanted me to sing this song the other night, so I'm going to sing it. Okay? It's an oldie and it's a hymn, so I know y'all all know this one. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was so lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was so lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was so lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Ooh, isn't God good? All right, y'all, you sharing? My niece is going to call up. In fact, I think I have a call right now. My niece is going to call up. Can you call? I know my niece is on there. I want her to call right now. If you don't mind, this is a family member. I know that David Taylor, on his rebuttal after I confessed to a 16-month relationship with him, he went on and did a rebuttal saying that I wasn't telling the truth, I was on drugs, all kind of crazy stuff, that I was in his assistant, Michelle, said I was in her car, and I ate barbecue wings, I didn't even like them, and I threw the bones on the floorboard, and I wiped my hands on the ceiling. Come on, if you could come up, y'all need to come up with some better lies than that. I mean, that's pretty pitiful. So she's calling right now. Let's see if I can get her. Let's see. Oh, come on. Okay, let me get you on speakerphone. Are you there?
Hey.
All right, y'all. This is my niece, and I want her. Cordy, you just share from your heart, okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Well, this whole thing, that started, it's just been, I just start from when I started watching Vicky's video. And I saw her share, like her heart, and I just started bawling because I know, like, how deep in love you were with him, and, like, how much like, we talked about it all the time, and you talked about the future, and I don't know, just just seeing your heart, and, like, hearing how hurt you were, even from, talking to you. It's just, anyways, after that, I listened to his rebuttal, and it was a joke to me. Like, I thought, like, this has seriously got to be a joke. Like, this, first of all, he said, like, you cuss like a sailor, and that was making me and Austin, my husband, we were cracking up because, like, I've never heard you say one cuss word in my whole life. The drugs. Okay, I have a history of drugs. And I remember, like, when I was out on drugs and out living that life, like, you and my mom and you would be one of the main ones praying for me. Yes. And just, like, for him to say that, like, it made, like, so mad. I couldn't believe that, like, anybody can just say anything. And he, like, that's so further from the truth of who you are and who, I don't know, like, it just really, really made me mad. But I'm really proud of you, though. Like, you're brave, Vicky. You are brave, man. Coming out and just, like, that's something else. You get people, I see people commenting and they're saying, like, oh, she's a woman scorned, or she's just looking for attention, blah, blah, blah. Like, really? You're going to come out on Facebook Live and you're going to, like, admit to things that you did were wrong? Like, I mean, you're risking it all. Like, just to say, look, this is here's my heart. This is what happened to me. And now, like, I watched YouTube videos today, and it's blowing my mind. The people that are, like, that have come out of this thing, it's bigger than I even thought it was. Like,
yeah, me too. I didn't know all this.
Huh?
I didn't know all this.
Right. It's just crazy. It's just, I don't know. I'm just proud of you, and what they said is the furthest thing from. I remember, like, when that lady was talking about being in a room, but, like, in Israel with you, and you were telling how it happened and stuff. Like, why do you have to talk to them two ladies? If your boyfriend is the head of the whole thing, why do you have to be addressed by these two? That's not a first lady role, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like the first, I don't know. So you were thinking it was one thing, and clearly they knew.
They knew the game. Those two women knew the game.
Exactly, and it's just, I'm so
well, I wanted
glad.
The reason why I wanted, we talked about it today because people that live around you, people that are around you all the time, if you got a drug problem, I mean, they're going to say, Vicky, y'all, that's right. Well, he pegged her there. None of my friends.
Especially our family. Like, y'all would hold interventions for me anytime, when I was out getting high, like, anytime I came home, you guys, I remember y'all, that's why I didn't come home. Because you guys would sit around and pray and cry and talk to me about everything. Like, I don't know what they think they're doing saying that, because they have no clue. That's just the furthest thing. They're just grasping, man, for whatever they can get.
Right. Well, Courtney, I just want to thank you for coming on here and just sharing the truth, because, I've been traveling now for 28 years. You know what? It would have been out all over the internet if I had a drug problem, showing up at concerts all drunk and high, and Vicky, y'all better not have her. She's got a drug problem, Right. So that would have been all over the internet. All of a sudden, but what happened was he had to come up with something that, because I had exposed this, and the only reason why I exposed it was because I knew there were some more women, and I knew that if they were thinking that, like, I thought I was the only one, and if they all think they're the only one, I wanted to set them free going into 2019, walking in their true destiny and not believing this lie. Some of these women been with this man for 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, 18 months, 20 months, 2 years. And so I felt like, well, people say, why'd you go on social media? Listen, you think I want to go on social media and tell everybody I had sinned and that I've been with that man?
Right. You know, something else that you just made me think of, like one of the videos I watched today, they were saying, you know, they were getting on to somebody in the ministry. It was like a secret recording, and they said, you got to repent to apostle first.
What?
That's the first. Yeah, no, not even kidding. So the staff was telling some lady that she needed, before anything, her first step is to repent to apostle. And I was thinking, oh my God, isn't it like the other way? Like you repent to God? It's just crazy. I feel really bad for the people that are like.
Still, we got to pray them out. This is the year. But you know what I was just thinking? I'm called a traitor. So I was talking to one of my friends today, and I said, the reason why I know it's a cult, because I'm called a traitor because I text him, David, and I text him screenshots from this woman.
Yes.
And within 2 minutes, Wicked Michelle, had sent a mass text to the whole movement that Vicky Yowie is a traitor. Block and delete her. All I was just asking a question, why he copied and pasted the same thing he told me to another woman. So I'm just saying, this is the kind of stuff. So it is a cult. You do not question them. And but I wanted you to come on, Courtney. Thank you so much. I love you so much. You know, thank God Courtney is, how many years are you set free from? 5 years.
Yeah.
Amen. And she's just an awesome woman of God, and she's married. She's got 2 children, another one on the way. And so I just want to come on here. You know, I'm not on drugs. I don't do drugs. I have prayed my nieces and my family members out of that drug life. And why would I, you know? So that's not me. So you haven't heard from anybody else that Vicky Yoey's on drugs. So y'all know we cleared the air. And Bishop Bloomer did not say that. Okay, Bishop Bloomer did call me and say, listen, I did not say that, the statement they're making. So they're just trying to grab at everything. Now I want to mention something right now. I had someone from y'all know I coach weight loss, okay? I had someone from It Works inbox me today and say that they had received a call at It Works from some of the people from the ministry there. They're trying to discredit me. Well, let me tell you something. All the people, those of you at JMI that are watching, they all are on my Facebook page, and they've been watching this, and they've been praying for me, right, Courtney?
That's right.
That's right.
Exactly right.
So no weapon formed against. So they're trying to go at my It Works. They're trying to have everybody call, I guess. I don't know. I just know they're getting, I don't know if that's what their plan was, but they're all calling up there and trying to discredit me at my.
Of course that's their plan. That's what I'm saying. Like if there's multiple people doing that right now of all times, like come on. That is not just like a coincidence. And that should be a red flag to every freaking JMI person. They should be like, okay, somebody's telling me to like lie right now to hurt somebody's business, then this is a red flag. Why would anybody in a ministry tell me to lie?
Exactly. And another thing I want to say, that David wanted me to keep a secret. I actually signed him up as a distributor. You know that, Courtney.
Right, yeah.
I signed up as a distributor, and he wanted me to keep that quiet, but he never did work the business or whatever, but he did sign up as a distributor at It Works. So, and he had a lot of this following that signed up, but they never did anything. But what I'm saying is, I just say he called, I guess, I don't know if he called, but a bunch of his people called, but that's okay. They're brainwashed, but they're going to come out of that in the name of Jesus. This is the year, girl. This is the year that those people are getting the right mind, and one by one, I know it's not going to all come out at the same time, but I believe that one by one, their mind is going to be opened up. God is going to just let them see the truth. The truth will set you free. You know, I get on these lives we do this every night. I'm at peace. I'm not trying to think up something where I can discredit that man. I'm not thinking it. We're just speaking truth. You know?
It's common to you. Like, it's crazy. The inboxes you get, man, you screenshot to me, and I'm like, no way. Like, another, oh my God.
Yeah, and I'm going to let you go, Courtney. We love you.
All right, I love you.
All right, bye-bye.
Right.
Now, before the former staff member comes on, I want to just talk on. We're going to have Prophetess Kim Daniels on here probably the first of next week. She's going to share about who should be your spiritual father. Someone that inboxes you on Facebook, hear me women, he didn't get me this way, but he got a lot of you this way. That God appeared to him or God spoke to him that you are to be his spiritual daughter. Now, to me that doesn't even, He don't even know you. A spiritual father raises you up. Tell her. Okay. Let's see. There's a guy on. I'll get rid of him. Hang on. I gotta block. Yeah, I see him. I blocked him. My sister thinks you got to block this person. So, but a spiritual father, that should be a red flag. I'm not beating up anybody because listen, my discernment was so off. But who inboxes you on Messenger and tells you that Jesus told them, it's all copy and paste. I have it on my Facebook page. He has a copy and paste to send to men and a copy and paste to send to women. Who tells you, in your messenger that you are to be their spiritual father? That's a red flag right there. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It's making me, come on, I don't know what the deal is. Y'all, hang on. Something happened to my little light. It's got me looking like hang on, y'all. I'm too white. Let me fix this. I don't know what this is doing. Hang on, y'all, we're going to get this right here. Why is this doing this? Hang on, y'all, give me a second. And we're going to invite they're going to invite, there we go. That's more, that looks like me. Okay, so we're going to invite Ken, what's his name? She turned the light off or something here. Can we invite our guest? It's a little bit early, he's going to come on at 7 o'clock, but I want to come on right now. Chris is a former staff from JMMI. Okay, good, she blocked him, good. David's going to have, people on here because, his kingdom's coming down. And so he's not happy about it, okay? I've got people calling me from Australia, Korea, Japan, Holland, the Netherlands, Switzerland, all over the world. They're wondering what's going on. And so I'm on the phone all the time. I'm inboxing them things. And that's why you see me post a lot of things on my Facebook page, because I have a lot of these people all over the world that they thought he was the real deal. And we are exposing this evil and this wicked person. Those of you that are just joining, I came out, I don't remember what day it was, but it's been a couple weeks ago, and confessed that I had a sexual relationship with David E. Taylor. For 16 months I was with him. Of course, it was a long-distance relationship, but he made me to believe that I was going to be his wife. He loved me. We had a future together. He just told me in November at the telethon that we're going to tie the knot. He said, even if we tie the knot in a few months, he said, I want to get you a house. And so it was just a bunch of bull. But so when I found out there was somebody else, and then I realized there was somebody else, and then I realized, okay, I have got to go public because I believe there's going to be a lot of women that he's been lying to. And so when I said that, he said that I would die of cancer. He said because I exposed him that I would die of cancer. But guess what? I reversed those words. I will live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. He is not God. And that is clearly witchcraft. And so those of you that are a part of that movement and you're like, I don't know if I can believe he casts spells. And listen, who is your God? For some that are there, he is their God. But God is greater. He has the final say. He tells you when your days are over. Don't let whatever that wicked warlock says put fear in your heart. He's just a man that has screwed every woman that would want to, that are fooled by him, and tells them that thinks that believes everything he says. I thought that, and I was wrong. Absolutely, I was wrong. And I beat myself up every day, and I'm working towards just being set free completely. Peace of mind. I've repented. I want to move forward. This year's a year of restoration and healing. I'm not ministering out this year. But don't let fear grip you. And that's why I'm speaking out. People say, who are you afraid? No. God, if God be for me, who can be against me? If God is speaking truth, the truth will set you free. And so that's why I don't want you guys to be fearful. Those of you, I know we have some watching tonight that's they say, Vicky, I'm going to watch tonight. I'm still a part of the movement, but I'm just, I can't believe all the stuff I'm hearing. What's amazing is so many were my friends on both of my pages. So they blocked me on the personal page, but they can still get all this stuff from my fan page. So that's why I'm coming live from this page. So I'm going to invite Chris to come on. Now I'm going to try and get him live, but if I can't get him the picture up quickly, he's just going to call me because we don't want to waste any time. I want to bring him right up. So Chris, do me a favor. Can you just say something to me like, hello, I hope you're on the phone. Say hi to me in the comments, and I will bring you on, okay? I know I'm not going to get cancer. It's foolishness and it's witchcraft. And this is the year that JMMI and David E. Taylor is. It's not. No. Of course, Michelle. That's his woman. That's one of the women. She's one of many. Okay, I need Chris. Chris, please comment. Can you say hello? Chris. I'm waiting for Chris to say something. I'm going to bring him on. A former staffer from JMMI. Please, Chris, if you're out there. Oh, okay. There we go, Chris. I'm going to bring you on now. See if it will work. If it doesn't work, we'll have Chris call me. But I'm praying, Lord Jesus, let it work. It says it's adding you, so I hope you are able to come on. Chris was a former staff member there at JMMI, and he was there from February 2017 to August of 2017. So we're going to try. We might try it twice. If it doesn't come on right now, we'll wait another second because I really want you to see Chris. And he, hello, there's brother from Israel. Thank you. I'm glad. We want you to spread the word over there in Israel of who David E. Taylor really is. Yay! Can you see me?
Vicky, how's it going?
Good. Can you get a little bit closer to the camera? Because you're kind of breaking up.
Rotate the camera?
Can you get your face closer?
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, come straight. Okay, can you?
Okay.
All right. How are you?
Oh, it's going pretty good. How are you doing?
Awesome. Well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and just jump in. Talk a little bit louder. You got to be kind of loud like me tonight, okay? Talk loud, be close to the camera. And I want you to share a few things that you saw being on staff there. And I'm not going to tell you. I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. You're not really in the center of the camera, so we want to make sure we get you.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I need you to go. You're sideways. Can you make it?
Okay.
Turn yourself a little bit. Now you're upside down.
All right.
Now you're sideways.
Is that better?
You're sideways.
Okay.
There we go. Now you're right. Okay. So you go ahead and share. Tell us
Okay. So
just first off, I'm going to ask you, what made you go there?
Yeah. So I'll tell you everything from the very beginning. Am I coming through so far? Okay.
Good. Talk a little bit louder.
Okay. How's it so far? Has it come through okay? Okay. I'm using a tablet, so yeah, so I have some notes. If I look off screen, I'm like kind of looking at my notes, but
okay, you know what? Can you call us on your phone? I mean, can you do the video on your phone?
Yeah, I'll try that.
Call me, get back on your phone because I think we'll see, it'll work better. Y'all just be patient. Don't comment.
Okay.
Get on your Facebook with your phone.
Okay. All right.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
I'm gonna let you go. Okay.
All right.
Okay, he's gonna come back in just a moment. I'm gonna get him on his phone so we can hear really, really good. He's gonna share why he went to JMMI. And now you see, there's a lot of, you might see some like some angry faces on here. That's people from David E. Taylor. He has people on here trolling. Okay, so of course they're going to put some angry faces, but that's okay. It's okay. We know they're angry. The devil's mad, and we're glad. And we are exposing this. I know I'm clear, but he wasn't clear. So he's gonna come in on his cell phone, okay? And we'll get a better sound from him if he's on his cell phone, okay? I know, label mic. I know you guys. I'm just not fancy. I'm so sorry. I know y'all say I need a label mic and all that. Okay, so he's gonna come on in just a moment. He's gonna come on from his phone. Hello, everybody. Just in just a few moments, he's switching over to a phone. Chris was a former staff member at JMMI under David E. Taylor, and so he's been away. I don't know how long. Yeah, he's been away since August, because I went August in 2017. He was from February 2017 to August of 2017. So thank God he got out, and he's going to tell you why he went there and how he got out. And he's got some he was sharing some things today, the copy and paste of what they send to like if you get an inbox that says, I want to be your spiritual daughter. He has he had an email, what they send him, what to send to women, what to send to men. Jesus never appeared, and Jesus never speaks to David E. Taylor to tell you for you to be his spiritual daughter, okay? It's a copy and paste scam, okay? And you guys, some of you, well, you still don't believe it. Well, you go to my Facebook page and you'll see what they told him to send to the women, what they told him to send to the men. Vicki, why are you so passionate about this? Because I know there are 38 women, actually there's more, I stopped counting, 38 women when I came out and made my confession that inboxed me and said that they are his spiritual daughters and they are sleeping with him and that they're to be his wife and that they, you know, that they're supposed to keep it a secret and that when the right time comes, he's going to marry them, okay? So I'm going to bring, no, that's not him. I'm looking for Chris Sorensen. Say something, Chris, when you get on here. And so that's what he told me. Vicki, in the right timing, we're going to marry. I know I got to echo. It's this room. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm not getting it all right. And so, of course, that was a lie. So that's what he was telling all the women. But in October, I told my family, I said, I'm not going to be a secret in 2019. And I said something to him in November that I need to see you before, I need to see you during the holidays. And he kept putting me off. And then I said that I would not come sing at One Night with the King unless I saw him during the Christmas season. He said, Michelle will cancel your airplane ticket. And God began to deal with me about this one woman that I thought, oh, well, okay, that I thought he might be. I had a suspicion, and I had some things that came to me in October. Actually, yeah, in the middle of October. And I went and unblocked this woman and come to find out, absolutely. So that's how it all blew up. And he asked me just to go your way. He said, why don't you just go your way and I'll go mine's, M-I-N-E-S, mine's. I said, no, in your dreams. I'm going to expose you and I'm going to warn all these women that think they're your spiritual daughters that Jesus came to you and spoke to you and you put them on your heart. And your first thing he says right away is, I love you, baby, B-A-B-I-E. That's a sign that, you know, is Chris back? Oh, good. Let me find Chris. I'm looking for Chris. Is Chris? Oh, good. I see Chris. He's back. Okay, I'm bringing Chris on the camera now. Okay, Chris, it's coming back now. Okay, so Chris was with JMMI from February 2019 to August 2017, both 17. February 2017 to August 2017. He wasn't there very long, but my Lord, the information that he has is absolutely heart-wrenching. Some of the stories that he's sent me and email, and I thought, listen, you've got to come on my live. This has got to be exposed. Look at all the little devil, the little angry emojis. That's the cult. They're angry. The devil's mad, but we're going to expose this spirit, this lie, this deception, this warlock, this witch, and it's going to be, the truth will set you free. Okay, it says it's adding you. I hope you can come on. It says it's adding, so I hope it works. I think I did something to accept me. It says it's still adding, so we're going to pray that it adds you. Look at all the little angry faces. That's okay. That just tells me the devil's mad. You got to answer it, Chris. It says answer. So I'm adding you one more time. If it doesn't work, you're going to call me, okay? Because we're ready to get into this. We'll try it one more time. It says it's adding you. So just go to connect them. So that's good. Yay!
I think we have finally got it, huh?
Uh-oh. Hang on, the dogs. Terry, get the dogs. Oh, no, I hollered you and the dogs. Okay, so talk up really, really loud because we can't really hear you. Okay, so go ahead. Tell us why you went to JMMI.
Yeah, sure. So basically, I'm kind of looking out the screen too because I have notes as well. So, but you know, I started being associated with this ministry January 2015, so almost 4 years ago. And you know, just browsing online, and all of a sudden I see a Facebook post say that, oh, if you read this book, you'll see Jesus face to face. And you know, I was very skeptical at first. Didn't really believe it, so I continued to, you know, look up YouTube videos about David E. Taylor. I would, you know, look at reviews, anything I could find about it. I saw the Sid Roth interview and all that stuff. And after I see review after review about how, you know, people have read his book, have seen Jesus, I'm like, okay, you know, $20, I'll give it a shot. I'll read the book. You know, worst case scenario, I lose out on $20. Best case scenario, I see Jesus. So it's worth the gambles. Read the book. I liked it. Didn't see Jesus yet, but maybe just a matter of time. A month after I read the book, David E. Taylor actually personally messages me on Facebook, and I was blown away because, like, wow, this guy just reaches out to little old me, and I'm like, wow, what an honor. So I thank him, and we message a little bit, and then he says, "Oh, I'm so humbled, Chris. Yes, this year is your year of recovery. You're going to recover all, and call into our executive office right now and come into agreement with our ministers." So I do what he says. I called in. The guy that I spoke to was very passionate. He was very sincere, very loving. He prayed with me. He got to know me. I mean, we must have spent like 45 minutes on the phone, just praying and talking. So, after that, I was really blown away, and I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was the last call I was ever going to get. Maybe 2 months later, I get another call from the minister just saying, "Hey, Chris, how's it going? Just checking up on you. Just want to pray with you, see how things." I'm like, wow, who does this? Who checks up on people like this and just gets to know? I'm like, wow, you guys are the real deal. I didn't think I'd be back with you guys again. So I think, they check up on you every once in a while to pray with you. And then maybe after like the second or third time, they start, "Hey, so you've been blessed with this ministry. You want to, start sowing some seeds into some good ground." And, they kind of started asking for money after maybe the second or third call. But I
So they
was
were
happy.
asking
I was
for
kind
money
of
the second or third call?
about that. They say you want to sow into the ministry. This is good ground. And then they give you, while they're talking to you, they give you testimony after testimony of people calling in saying, "Oh, I've seen Jesus. Oh, I've been healed. Oh, I sowed $100 and I got a $10,000 check in the mail." They just keep on giving these testimonies, kind of excite you and build your faith. So, yeah, so I was kind of hooked after that. And, I read his.
I was told that tonight that there will be people from JMMI told to put on here and to say a lot of things about you negative, just making up stuff.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sure.
so
I doubt it. Yeah.
so I don't just all those know that I checked out Chris. Chris is credible. So they might be saying stuff on here, and I'm blocking them as I see it. So just continue on. I just want to let everybody know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Expect it. Expect them to say he's evil, he's wicked, he's lying, he's Ahab, he's a Judas. These people, they will defend David E. Taylor to the death.
Oh yeah, they'll lie.
So yeah, absolutely. So I'm not surprised. I mean, we even had to do that when I was there. They want you to block anything or report anything. If anyone was ever talking about leaving the ministry, you were to report it immediately.
That's happened to me. All I said was, hey, I'm a woman in love. There was another woman. I asked about it. She's a traitor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they call you traitor. Yeah, they'll. There's no end to what they'll call you.
I just had to say that.
Oh no, yeah. Everyone should be aware though that they're doing that. But yeah. So over the months, I really, I would look at to see on David E. Taylor's website when he's going to be appearing next, and so I saw in November they were having a crusade against cancer in St. Louis Park, or not St. Louis, Missouri, and I went all the way down there, drove there, saw the conference. And, I loved it. I wanted to be more part of it. They told me about the Army call. They told me about being on a part-time staff, volunteering.
Oh, yeah. When I first went there, they said, we got 8,000 on our staff. And I'm like, so now I know that when they inbox you, they ask you to be a part of their global staff.
Yeah.
Did they get, I don't think they get paid.
No one gets paid. I think maybe Michelle gets paid. That's about the only, everyone is on their own when it comes to getting money. But, it's the sacrifice that they put it off, they pass it off as the price you're paying. It's the process. It's boot camp. This is, you're killing the flesh, stuff like that.
They talk about pride. They talk about pride so much because he used to tell me I was full of pride. And I'm like, I've never been told I was prideful. But he's the one full of pride. That's what's crazy. Those are the most humble people around there. Those people that work for him, that are around him, like those young people, they're so humble. But they're always told they're full of pride. But that's him. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll say, "Oh, you got to get the snakes out of you. You need deliverance." So, but anyway, so like after that crusade against cancer, they invited me out for the very next month for the One Night with the King. Or sorry, the very next month it was gonna be the One Night with the King. I went all the way to Taylor for that. And you just become more and more involved. And time goes on, and that was right around the time that the deposition came out, right around December 2015. And I didn't see it yet before I went to the One Night with the King, but my wife saw it. And so when I came back, she was all, hates David D. Taylor, has nothing to do with him. She saw the video, and of course, they pass it off as, oh, this video is spliced and diced.
Oh, yeah, that's what he told me. Listen, when we first started talking, he said, now, I'm going to tell you about a few things. So I'm like, okay. He said, now, this deposition, he told me slice and dice. He told me about a baby that he had from some woman that she moved off to. He wanted to tell me, but he said that video. So he really got, when we first started talking, he just really covered up all that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. He can't be caught. He's too far into it. He'll make up anything to cover. But,
I'm sorry, you said, so just the video. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. No, anytime you have questions, feel free to clarify or have me clarify. But, so the video, my wife and I were against him. I was for him. She was against him. And, we're all getting to 2016. And, I didn't go to another one until the Crusade Against Cancer 2016. That was the next time I was in Taylor. And I will say I never saw Jesus this whole time, but I did have an experience there. I have to say, yeah, and I didn't see him, but I did get slain in the spirit. And I had a prophecy from this one guy that said, you're Thomas, and you're going to sit at the feet of a man of God, and he's going to teach you everything you need to know. And I thought that was confirmation for joining JMMI. So I had that experience. I don't know what it was. It felt peaceful, but anyway, so after that, my mind was set on becoming full-time staff. I just had to figure a way to get my wife to agree with me to move down there, and she wasn't doing it. And this whole time, Taylor's messaging me, Michelle's messaging me, like, you need to leave her. She's not for you.
You know that.
And, no, he would pull up what I can forget what scripture, but basically scripture like, no man that has left mother, father, kids, wife, will not fail to receive in this lifetime 100. So they would always use that scripture. They talked about how Moses left his wife, cast her out. So yeah, they kept using scripture and saying that he's heard from God. Jesus is telling him that I need to be there. I need to go there. So I'm thinking this is my calling in life. This is what I've been searching for, because I was on fire for God even before I met David Taylor. I was just searching for what I should do. And I thought this was all confirmation. So fast forward now, we're down to February 2017. And, I decided to pull the plug and just to go for it. I loaded up my car. I told my wife I was going to move there for, temporarily, because during the time I was there, I wanted to see if maybe she would get an appearance from Jesus. Maybe she would come around. Maybe I would see Jesus. Just something would happen while I'm there. And so nothing happened. But anyways, I moved. I left everything. I sent some of my possessions to my parents so they could kind of sell it so I could have some money when I'm there. I just packed up my car, and whatever I had. Whatever I left behind, I was fine with leaving behind. And, I thought I was giving it all up for God, giving it all up for the gospel, because all I wanted in this life was God. All I wanted to do was get this life right. I don't treasure anything in this world. I just want to get this life right and live for God. And so I moved there, and, that's kind of how I started. Once I got there, kind of get on my notes here. I got there, I arrived, I was introduced to the staff, and I took all my stuff on my car, and we moved upstairs. So very first day I started living in the church. We moved upstairs where the storage was. It was very like like I lived in some pretty bad situation. It was like homeless shelter, but worse. Like everyone was sleeping on a mat on the ground. One guy didn't even have a bed. He just laid a blanket down on plywood and slept on that. I brought some stuff. I brought an air mattress and sleeping bag, so I was a little more comfortable, but some guys weren't. Basically the they start you off slow. You end up getting sleep your first week. You may get 6-7 hours of sleep, which is a lot for that place. They get you introduced by watching David E. Taylor's teachings. They kind of fill you with all his teachings, and then after about a week, you just dive into your full schedule, what you do. And so that full schedule was, you wake up at 7:30. You start your day off at 8 o'clock by morning prayer and worship. And then after prayer and worship, you have about an hour and a half morning meeting. Every morning you would have a meeting. And then after that, you just hit to the phones. You're on the phones literally the whole entire day, praying for people, taking donations, calling people to invite them to the Crusade Against Cancer or whatever event was coming up. And you do that till about 11:30 at night. So 8 in the morning to 11:30 at night. You may get a half-hour break, and then if you are on the Facebook team, which sends all that propaganda, copy and paste of messages, you start at midnight, and then you go till 4 a.m. in the morning, and then you're off. So from 4 a.m. till 3:30 in the morning, you have off to either sleep or you could take a shower or whatever you want to do. A lot of people chose sleep over showering, so a lot of people, people would go like 4 days without showering before doing that. I think my longest stretch was 5 days, and then I took a shower. Place stinks. People's white shirts turn gray because you don't have a washing machine there. You have to you may do laundry once every couple weeks, and yeah. So that was our schedule. Things I would do there is, I would run errands, grocery shop, drive around if they needed something picked up. Send flyers for Crusade Against Cancer, maintenance on the building, and cooking, stuff like
Now,
that.
how does he live? I want to stop you. Okay, so you guys were living like that. Were you guys aware that he has this huge mansion in Missouri, and then he just bought this other house back in December, that he has 2 Bentleys and a Rolls Royce? Were you guys aware how he lives?
Well, you don't see him that often. He may pop his head in the ministry once a week. You may see him for briefly, once every couple weeks, once a week for maybe a half hour at a time. He would never really talks to you personally. He only talks to you in groups. Like if group teaching, he'll talk to you. But as far as living in luxury, we knew he had some stuff. I think a month after I got there, 2 months after I got there, they actually sent me down to St. Louis to I don't know what they needed help down there for some reason. I didn't really do a ton down there. I met some of the other staff down there. They have kids. They live in Section 8 housing down there. And he's like his personal armor bearer down there. And he has a wife and 3 kids. And so when I was there, we had a meeting in Memphis. So we left from St. Louis to Memphis. And then we had to drive his Rolls Royce back to St. Louis again. And it was then that I saw his mansion. I saw his mansion from the outside. I saw his Bentley, his stretch. Oh, we had to wash all that stuff too. we got back at midnight that night from the Memphis after driving all day. And we had to wash his Rolls Royce because he had to get all the bugs off. And in the morning, we had to go take it in for oil change. But yeah, I saw I knew how he's living. I saw that mansion in St. Louis. But, we all just think he all passes it off as honor that, he deserves because you're honoring a man of God. It's all gifts and stuff like that. And he looks at all this stuff as assets because a ministry needs funds. So all this stuff looks good on a bank. If you're applying for a bank loan, you have all these assets. Yep. So I was at that point. I saw it, and then I ended up going back. So I was out of that minute, or I was in St. Louis for maybe about a month, and went back. And when I got back, I was just doing first tier stuff. First tier is just a receptionist job. We would get the incoming calls, and then we'd forward them to the ministers. So that was basically my life. It was just sun up, 7:30, 8 in the morning, all the way till 4 a.m. in the morning. We had a quota, so that was basically what I would do. Let me get back on the notes here. Oh, I will say the good. So that's all that stuff. The only good things I ever experienced there was like once in a while to keep morale up. Taylor would. He took us to like 2 or 3 movies. We went to a movie theater maybe 3 times. Went bowling one time. Took us out to Brazilian steakhouse. Um, treated us out for 4th of July and stuff like that. But that was about it. But what I'll start getting more into the red flags and the stuff I would saw that just you pass it off. You don't want to think it's bad because you think he's just listening to Jesus and this is
How'd you get paid?
what he's doing.
How'd you get paid?
Oh, I didn't get paid anything.
So how'd you survive?
No. That thing right there.
What is that?
That's EBT card. This is exactly the one I used when I was there. You see this right here?
You gotta be kidding me.
No, everyone had to get it. I was in charge of them. I was in charge of organizing it. And
so why were you eligible for that?
Oh, so okay, so this is one thing when you get there. You live in the church and all the women, they live at this ministry house maybe 40 minutes away. But when you are there, if you talk to any outsider, you talk to family, anyone, you say you're living out in town with a friend or family. But in order to get those cards, you got to go to the state office and say you're homeless. So to get these cards, you just say, I'm homeless, I have nowhere to live, I need an EBT card. So that's how we would eat. And, and then Taylor would pay for all the, whatever, the electricity, our form of being paid was a roof over our head, sleeping in the church. That was our payment. Everything else was a sacrifice. It was boot camp. It was going through the process. This is the cost you have to pay to do this, for this kind of weightiness and to follow in the footsteps of him. If you want this kind of relationship with God kind of thing, you have to follow and Taylor, you have to do all this stuff. So, so that's how we got paid. That's how we ate. I mean, 50 people is the amount, is how large the staff was. We had about 50 people. Each card has $194 on it. That would last one day. So yeah, I mean, it's just, that's how that was.
So tell me about the time that you guys were living in the church and about the dream that he had about fire.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have to look. I just say it from memory. So he has these intercessors pray over him that are like, they pray over him, and different full-time staff members would have dreams about the building catching on fire. And so we would have like maybe 6 dreams of these building catching on fire. So in order to prevent against that, because this was right before the crusade against cancer, he saw it as an attack from the enemy, saying that the enemy is going to try to burn this building down. We need to get rid of everything that causes fire, anything that causes heat. So we did have a kitchen. We had a stove, a microwave, a rice cooker, a coffee pot, all that stuff, a fridge. Had to get rid of it all. We put it all in storage or something, and then we locked the kitchen. So we had no way to eat now. We had to break out about 4 coolers, fill them with ice, and then we would fill it with deli meat and cheese and bread and bags of chips and stuff like that. Basically non-perishable stuff. But people would buy ice maybe once every 5 days. So the ice would melt. It'd be floating around in pools of water. No one would seal this stuff up right. So you got water mixed in with your cheese and meat, and it's just, I mean, I don't know how many times I had a peanut butter sandwich, like no jelly, just a peanut butter sandwich and water, just something to take the hunger. I mean, I lost 20 pounds when I was there, and not doing anything.
Were you ever hungry?
My face. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're definitely hungry, but I mean, as soon as people get groceries, the whole entire staff just descends on it like vultures. They just grab whatever they can, and I don't know. So that's
why would
yeah.
what would he say you're raising the money for? That's my thing. I've been there and I've seen everything, and I always thought he was, he had this dream of building this stadium to seat 100,000 people. He's just going to cost him 400 million. And so and he always would say stuff like he was going to buy 5 semi trucks and a cargo plane to help people in disaster
But you never see, you know, I was with him one time, I looked at his phone, I saw that he had 8 million in one account. 8 million in one account. And you guys are living like that? That ain't right. And the lady said she wanted to know the address to where the ministry is. You inboxed me, you said you could do something about them, having all of them with the EBT. I'm sure they're still doing that. And on welfare and all of that, you inbox me, I'll give you all the information you need, because this needs to stop. What I heard from you, Chris, is horrific. I mean, you guys are working there in the ministry. They have enough money to pay y'all a salary. Take your taxes out, whatever they got to do. That is horrific, the way you were living. And I'm still, I mean, you told me a little bit about it, but man, just to hear you say this, now they're asking, at what point did you go, okay, I got to get out of here? And then they want to know if you're still with your wife.
So yeah, I have I could get to, if you want. I have a whole list of just red flags that I would ignore. You want me to go through? Okay. So yeah, so I covered the thing with the food. Again, you know, you're talking about how much money does he have? The very first day I saw it, it was suspect. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. But you know, they kept saying, oh well, the ministry needs money and we need to fund all this stuff. So every single person there had a quota of $500 a day they needed to raise in donations, 20,000 collectively for the day, 100,000 a week. We had to make. If we didn't make that, if we were short, we had to work Saturdays and Sundays to make up for it. No matter how much Taylor made by himself, no matter how much Michelle made, like he would come in once in a while and say, like, I just got this NFL star to donate $1 million, but you guys didn't hit your quota, so guess what? You're still working. He did his. You guys aren't doing your part. You still have to make it up. So we worked. We didn't have days off. We may have had 1 day off a month. And then during that 1 day off a month, he would choose to have a whole entire staff meeting like on a Sunday night at 6 o'clock, and it would last till 2 a.m. So there goes your day off. And so it's, you know, he just kept you working, kept you sleep deprived. If you had family that came against the ministry, you were supposed to, they called it breaking rank. I had to break rank with my dad because my dad cut them off, block them, don't talk to them until they repent. If they repent to Taylor, then you can let them back in your life.
That's like he's God.
Yeah. Oh, act like he's God. Yeah, okay. I have a testimony of that too. Every time we would have these conferences, or not conferences, these staff meetings where he would come and, you know, talk to the staff for 4 to 6 hours. As soon as he entered the room, you had to stand on your feet and like we got up and we're just screaming like, yeah, apostle, woo, and clapping and like treating him like a celebrity or something like that. And so we had to do that every single time he entered the room. You couldn't walk within 20 to 30 feet of the man. If he was at the end of the hallway, standing right in the middle of it, and you needed to get by him to go to the bathroom or whatever, you had to wait for him to leave because you can't walk within his close proximity. You know, you had to like avoid the man at all costs. I remember this one time, it was maybe about 2 months before the Crusade Against Cancer, and we were moving stuff in the sanctuary. It was kind of a mess because we're just in this moving, whatever. We're just moving stuff around. So it was a mess. And it was late at night, and he called all the men into the sanctuary, just furious, just fuming. It's like, this is God's house. How dare you disrespect God's house like this? And there's about 30 men standing there. So they can't say this is a lie because every man experienced this. Everyone was standing in a circle, and he used this opportunity to correct some men there. And he did it to about 6 or 7 men and started slapping them across the face. He beat this one guy down.
Whoa. He slapped somebody across the face?
About 7 men that night.
On the staff?
The staff, the men. The kids staying there.
I blocked her, Terry. Okay, so my sister's helping me. We got a block ministry going on over here.
Yeah.
So, did he ever hit Chin in the face? Slap Chin, the Oriental guy?
I've heard of him. Like Chin admitted to me that he's been corrected. I know, and I've heard from other people that he's been slapped by him. I personally didn't see it. I personally I have like, so this is the type of physical abuse I've seen. I've seen Taylor slap about 6 or 7 men personally. This one guy, I feel so bad for him. Like, wow, this kid is so ensnared and so just,
Can you say his name so we can pray? I mean, right now I'm so heavy-hearted because I saw a lot of these people. I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea. So don't be afraid to mention the name because we want to pray these people out of that.
because I love these guys still. I never stopped loving these guys. Even though they blocked me, I still love all the staff.
Yeah,
Like, they're still
we
all,
have to take consideration.
yeah. I don't, I mean, Devereaux is his name. And I remember, because all these 7 guys that got slapped, they were in trouble for various reasons. But him, I remember seeing him. I'd never seen a black man's face turn pale white before in the presence of, like, he slapped him, beat him, his face turned pale white, his eyes grew like almost rolling back of his head, his lips got chapped right in front of my face, and I mean, and he just slapped him. He said, "You're so close to going to hell. You're so close to getting kicked out of here. You are at hell's door." And they isolated him. He was the one in charge of all the Photoshop. If he needed to make a flyer or something like that, or if he needed some artwork done for new teaching, whatever Photoshop needed to be done, he was in charge of it. And they isolated him. He was in a room by himself. After he got in trouble, he couldn't leave a room. He had a security guard by him to make sure he didn't leave anywhere. If we ever had a 4th of July or some sort of event where everyone got to leave and have fun, he had to stay back and not have fun. He didn't get to leave the ministry. I remember one time I was going to the store to just pick up something. He begged me. He was like, "Chris, can you just pick me up an ice cream? Can you just pick me up something and bring it back?" I'm like,
Abuse.
"I don't do that, man. Can I do that?" I'm like, "I got you, man. Tell you, I'll get it for you." And so, my heart went out to this guy. I've seen Michelle slap him as well. Michelle slapped him. I've seen Joe choke out and slap a couple staff
Oh
members.
God.
Like, leaders, yeah. Just physical. That's just physical. That's slapping and hitting and choking. That's not even the "you're going to hell" kind of thing, and you're wicked and kind of that's just physical. But that was all that. Let's see. Oh, it's so dangerous there because everyone is so sleep deprived that
What's the
before I
average
got there,
night's sleep they get? The average.
3 hours every night. Yeah, but well, because even if you do get sleep, you need to the phones need to be manned. Like, the phones are 24 hours, so there always has to be one person waking up for like a 2-hour phone shift. They have security shifts to where every 2 hour or every hour you need to walk around the building and check all the doors and check everything, make sure everything's locked. So even if you get some sleep, you have to wake up to do the security shift or a phone shift. So yeah, you don't get any sleep. The only time you get to sleep is maybe on a Sunday morning because you got church at 10. So you get to sleep in a little bit extra long there. But yeah, you're not sleeping much there. And being that it's so sleep deprived, they don't have many cars because everyone's totaling them and getting crashes. Someone got in a couple accidents with my car, and I have pictures of a car that these people, they fall asleep behind the wheel on the way back home to like the ministry house, and they'll crash a car. And before I got there, there's about 13, 14 cars that got totaled. I think mine was number 14 or 15. They only have about 3 to 4 beater cars for the whole ministry. Well, Michelle will never hurt. Michelle, well, I think she crashed her car too. She crashed her Mercedes, I think. I don't know what she has now, but
He got a new one.
we don't.
He told me.
Oh yeah. Well, we sure don't have Bentleys or Mercedes or BMWs as our cars.
Go ahead.
Like, yeah. So, we the only cars we have are what personal staff have brought when they came to the ministry. and all the tabs are expired. No cars insured.
Oh my God, no
Um,
cars insured?
no one
Listen, he
has.
put all this money in it, no cars insured?
Well, and that's the thing too, because people will get tired and they'll either speed or go over the line, then they get pulled over by a cop, then they get tickets and they can't pay the tickets. This one girl had to spend a night in jail because she had unpaid tickets. And luckily she had a friend outside of the ministry. She had like a friend or family pay her fines for her, but everyone has. I've been in the car a couple times when we were pulled over by cops because the tabs weren't current. So yeah, he won't pay for it either. He has to say, this is your process. You have to find your own way to do this. He has plenty of money to pay for it, but he won't pay a dime unless he absolutely has to. I think he may have paid for a tire that got blown out one time, and that's about it. I don't know. He doesn't really pay for stuff. But he lives a lavish and
Lavish
lush
lifestyle.
life.
Now I'm gonna let you talk again in just a moment. So I'm sitting here blown away, but that's not right. These young people, I think there's 60 there now, but I will tell you this. He told me when I first started dating him that, you said 20,000 a day or whatever, but I don't know what your quota was, but I know that he was bringing in $150,000 a day through Facebook Messenger, from women, from people that because usually at the end of the conversation I ask him to give $1,000 or whatever, and so he's got plenty of money, and my mind is blown because he could have you guys, all the staff working, living in decent homes, giving you a decent paycheck, going there and working, all able to take showers and eat well, and just so I talked to one girl when I was there, and she says she's in a 20-year process. I just listened to her 20 years. So I just lost him, but we'll get him right back because he has more to say. Say something to me, Chris, and I'll bring you right back on, okay? Just say something, bring you right back on. We lost you. He'll come back on. No worries, because he is not finished. And we're going to find out about if he's still with his wife, because David E. Taylor encouraged him to divorce his wife, and that's what they do. No, I asked him, nobody's married, right? He's like, they're married. No one is married pretty much around there. So Chris, go ahead and say something to me in the comments. Now, as you noticed, they had several people on here that was saying bad things about Chris, and they stuck to the same thing that they said about him. That's not true. That's what they do. They want to discredit Chris. Chris is very credible. Y'all listen to him talk. He ain't trying to make up stuff like the people at JMMI do and David does. So, Chris, can you say something to him? I'm going to get you right back on here, okay? Okay. Now they're going to start talking about It Works, my business. Somebody said It Works is a scam. No, I've been with it for 3 years. It's not a scam. Y'all need to do better than that. Okay, there's Chris. Y'all need to do better than that, y'all. I know y'all scraping the bottom of the barrel trying to find something to discredit me, but you can do better than that, okay? It Works is not a scam. It's a wonderful company. Okay, Chris, I'm sorry. We lost you. Go ahead.
Oh, no,
I want to talk about your wife. Are you still with your wife?
Oh, sure. Can I just say something? Yes. They just tried calling me. Then when they called me, it interrupted the service.
Oh,
Thanks,
JMI called you?
Oh, Eli.
Eli. I love
Eli
that.
Vale.
I'm praying Eli out of there. That Eli,
Yeah.
he stole my heart. Eli, you're coming out of that. And you're going to do a mighty works of God. You're going to travel around this country. You're going to preach the gospel. You got anointing. You got to get away from that man. He's demonic. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's what the interruption.
Okay.
But yeah, my wife. Yes, we are very strong. Everything is going great. She is the reason I'm out of there. If it wasn't for her, I would still be in that cult. She kind of played their game and gave it a shot. Because you know how if you're against the ministry, you got to block them.
Yeah.
And have nothing to do with them. So she read the book. She even called to the ministry for prayer. She was like actually going to live out here and move here with me to be a part of the ministry. And I told the leadership that hey, my wife's going to move out here. I need to go back there and help her move because, you know, she has a car, she has a U-Haul. And they're like, no, if she's serious about this, she needs to find her own way out here.
Oh my goodness.
She's going to find a way. And they said, and then I'm like, okay, fine. Or like, you know, I was mad about that. And she left her job, actually. She was really going to come out here. And she left her job and was looking for renters for the house. And then last second, they're like, well, you can't live with her. She can move out here. We can't stop her from moving out here, but you can't live with her. You're going through your process still. I'm like, this is not right. And then I had a private, well, not, it was me, Michelle, and Taylor, and we had this meeting together, and he was like chewing me out, yelling at me, and saying that, you know, you're going to be judged, and I'm going to stand with Jesus and the Father. I'm going to judge every, you know, stuff like that, just all high and mighty. And then basically the thing that gave it away, that I knew I had to get out of there. All this other stuff I'm saying, all that other stuff, you know, it all started to add up. Oh, another thing too, my wife did. My wife knew this was a cult, and so she did like a private, not private, but she dug around online and found contacts of former staff members, and she had staff members contact me and give me their testimony. And so I took all the broken marriages together, all the things that were going wrong, all these former staff members' testimonies, what Taylor was saying, and like all this other stuff. It hit me like a lightning bolt. As soon as I said, Chris, she's not being faithful to you. She's cheating on you. You need to leave her. And I'm like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, okay, I know you're a liar now. I know my wife would never do that. I know
he destroys marriages.
Yeah. Oh, and it all made sense because Joseph Bush left his marriage. Probably about 5 other staff members at the place left their marriage for the ministry, and it just all made sense. Like it just an epiphany happened. I'm like, you know, I went through the rest of the conversation. I'm like, okay, yes, okay, I'll leave her, sure. And then I'm like, honey, I'm coming home. Like, come, you know. And then my wife and my parents drove out to Taylor. I didn't tell a soul I was leaving. I didn't tell anyone that I'm planning on going because I know they would turn me in. So I just in the middle of the night one night, I just packed up my stuff and we left and came home. And, you know, it's been a little bit of recovery process. You know, this isn't something that you get over in a night or even in a couple months. It takes, you know, we're doing a lot better now, but it was you know, yeah, it scars you deep for sure. It helps, you know, you don't look at ministers the same way. You don't look at, I still look at Jesus and God the same way. I haven't lost my fire for that, but as far as churches and, you know, it scars you deep, especially when, because I gave up my whole life for this. I left everything.
You have such a beautiful spirit, Chris. My heart, I've never met you first time, and I just love you, and we're praying for you and your wife. And you know what? We are the people that's been involved in that and are no longer there. We are an army, and we're going to fight. Listen, this is the year, and I declare this, and I speak this boldly on this Facebook Live. I'm past being hurt, y'all. He broke my heart, yeah, but I'm so past all that. I'll never cry another tear over that. I'm past all that. I'm ready to expose his scam, all the scam, the copy and paste, the spiritual daughters that think that they're gonna marry him, and he's, you know, be quiet. I'm ready. This is the year of that movement being shattered and crumbling. His kingdom is coming down. Everything that's not of Jesus shall come down. And that is not of Jesus. And I get inboxes all the time, ever since I've come out public. Vicki, we've been praying for 8, 10, 11 years. Thank you. Thank you. And so many of these women that have, okay, hang on one second. I know I blocked a couple people on accident. I can't unblock them right now, okay? So I will definitely unblock them when we get done, okay? But this kingdom is coming down. And, you know, some of y'all are saying, well, we need to get those people out that he's slapping in the face. These people probably think that's the process they're going through. You know, they're not realize, right? Don't you think?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all about like, yes, I deserve that. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You know, it's all dying to self, killing pride, killing whatever, you know, yeah, like you said, that's what they just beat into these people is it's the process, endure it, don't be weak, be bold, be strong, you know, and like, so they just, it makes you endure things that you wouldn't normally endure. It makes you go through stuff that if it was anywhere else, you would have left a long time ago, but you're so scared of going to hell. You're so scared of being condemned. And, you know, he gave testimonies of how, like, oh, Jesus took him to hell. And in hell, he saw former members there. And so it makes you think, like, oh, former staff members are there. Oh, no, yeah, I don't want to go to
He
hell.
said
You
that.
know?
No, he did not say that.
Yeah.
He said
No, I
that.
remember. Yeah, I remember it was at one of his meetings. He said that Jesus took him to hell, and he saw one of the former, and he's like, and the former staff member was saying, "I'm sorry, I take it all back. I forgive me," you know. But then Jesus was like, "Oh, it's too late. It's too late,"
See, he puts
kind of thing.
fear in people. Let me tell y'all something. Fear is a liar.
Oh yeah. No, it's ruled by fear. I never, you know, when I first got there, I thought it was gonna be just rainbows and sunshine every day, and just like, hey, did you see Jesus last night? Oh yeah, me too. You know, like,
Yeah.
I thought everyone would have face-to-face visitations nonstop, and that would just be peaceful and joyful. Everyone there is just run down, exhausted, zealous for God, but also zealous for Taylor, and they don't want to be condemned. If he didn't have that doom looming over their head, no one would stay. But it's just this fear of going to hell that people stay, I think, and that they believe it's their destiny. People like they're so involved in that ministry that when you're on the outside looking in, you can see much clearer. But when you're in it and you're consumed with it, and everyone around you is talking about it, and everyone in it being, you're just consumed by it. You know, I've never felt more like a vessel than I was there. And I truly get that the scripture, when it talks about how you're a vessel, and you know, your eyes are the windows to your soul. They just keep pouring into all these lies that you just become full of it. So yeah, it's bad. You know, I pray for people out there. I get people inbox me all the time still that my son's trapped in there, my daughter's trapped in there. So many people there have broke rank with their family members. They haven't talked to their dad in 5 years, haven't talked to their parents in 2 years. Like, they just totally cut off from the people that truly love them, and they have no way to contact them because they block them. So yeah, it's
Yes. You know, those of you that are telling me to block people, I block those people. I'm listening to him, and I'm also blocking the trollers that David E. Taylor's put on here, saying stuff bad about Chris. We all heard Chris's heart. This guy is not lying to us. This guy is and I blocked Nicole. I'm blocking all these people. Y'all didn't know, y'all got a block ministry over here. I got a block ministry. So I might have missed something, but we'll go back through and get rid of him, because, you know, this young man is speaking truth. And I just appreciate you speaking truth, and we may have you on here again. You know, I'm on a mission to really expose the wickedness of JMMI and the wickedness. I blocked Lamont, and so you know, I'm just appreciate you. Do you have any last words to say to people? You might have some people that are still involved with Apostle. I don't say Apostle, with David E. Taylor.
Oh yeah.
Warlock. Just what are your last words?
Yeah, I just want to look over the notes real quick, make sure I got everything on here.
Yes,
but
please.
yeah, ours. Just because I want to say everything that I wanted to say, but yeah, one thing, you know, with that was a big thing. Yeah. So I talked about him shutting off the all the heat things that had heat sources in it, but I remember one day I was there, and 3 men in a black SUV came rolling up in suits, and I don't know what he talked to. They were talking to the leaders, and as soon as they left, they had this huge scare, and they had a U-Haul come to the ministry right away. We had a U-Haul. They said, everyone living in the ministry, we have to get out, pack up all your stuff in garbage bags. We can't make it look like anyone lives here. So everyone was scrambling. No one had time to label their stuff. No one had time to pack it up properly. Everything was in garbage bags, every bed, clothes, hygiene. It all went into this U-Haul, and we brought it back to the ministry house back 40 minutes away. And so we totally emptied the place so that not a sign of anyone living there was there. So and then from there, all the men living at the ministry moved into the basement of the house. But they're like, okay, well, we still need like 10 people to stay back and do the phones and do the security and all that stuff. So everyone's stuff is at the house, but you still got 10 guys there with just the shirts on their back. They didn't have hygiene products. They didn't have any clothes to change out of.
Oh my God.
They weren't able to leave. And we would do shifts back and forth to the house so you could get your stuff and try to attempt to find your stuff again. But this mound must have been 10 feet high, probably about 15 feet wide, just full of garbage bags, not labeled. And you had to rip these bags open to find, is this my shirt? Is this my stuff? I don't know.
Oh my
Luckily,
God.
I had some duffel bags and I had some stuff that was clearly mine. So I was able to find myself a little better. But some of these guys, they came pleading up to me. It's like, Chris, if you go back to the house today, can you try to find my stuff?
Oh my
It looks
God.
like, I'm like everything is just a mess. And like, you're trying to get some sleep too. It's like, yeah, I'll try to find it. So you look for 20 minutes. I can't find it all, man. It's like, Chris, can you just give me a pair of boxers, man? I've been wearing the same boxers for 2 weeks, man. Can I have some soap? I don't have any soap. Do you have deodorant? I don't have any deodorant. And these guys, these 10 guys living back at the ministry, eventually they got some clothes, and some clothes that they had, they just put in these broken down cars outside the ministry because we couldn't have anything in the ministry that showed people were living there. And being that no one could live there, you couldn't have any beds, but you had to sleep there. So you're sleeping on the bare carpet with no blankets. You could use a jacket, and you can use maybe the curtains, like the curtains of the sanctuary for blankets, but no, that's all you got for bedding. So you're literally, some guys were sleeping in chairs. I remember I was kind of doing half and half shifts. I was staying back at the house and I was staying back at the ministry. So I experienced it all, but and that was up until the day I left. So that happened for at least 3 months up until I left. Trying to look at more of this stuff here.
My God.
Every single time you see people post stuff against Taylor, it's all the staff. It's only the staff coming against like these YouTube videos, like like everyone that's coming against you is all staff.
Oh yeah, it is staff. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not people with brains. I'm just telling you
Yeah.
something. Anybody that tells you to block and delete somebody, and you can't ask why you block and delete Vicky Yowie. She's a traitor, but you don't. They don't tell you why. And if you ask why, you're in trouble. That's a cult.
Yeah, they'll do that. Like as soon as you come against it, they did it for me. As soon as I left, my friends list was probably cut in half because everyone blocked me. They didn't want to have anything to do with me, and I haven't really talked to them for about 1.5 years ever since I left. And I'm sure they're gonna come out of the closets now and start to do that with me.
It's okay. Listen, if God be for you, who could be against you? I sleep so good at night, and you can sleep well tonight because you've spoken truth. They can't rest. They're saying lies about you, lies about me. Listen, the truth will set you free. Yeah, I blocked that hunter. I'm on this block ministry. I got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and there's speaking of so it seemed like Taylor would always have 3 sides. He would have the humble and meek, like, oh bless you, he would have the humble and meek side. He would have like the general lion side where he just screams at the audience. But then in like the private time when he was meeting with the men at the staff and stuff like that, he had this fixation with joking with the guys, but it was always like
about
gay stuff.
About being gay?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, why are you gay man, you gay man, you gay man. Yeah. And gay
guys,
all the time. You know what?
Booty bandits.
I ain't saying that.
It's like, hey, are you
guys
sleeping together? You guys giving it to him? And they would just joke around. It was always gay jokes for some reason. I don't know.
Gay jokes all the time.
Yeah. That was I don't know. That just kind of stuck out to me, but I'm just trying to go over one last time. I think I pretty much said everything that was on my heart that I wanted to.
Let me ask you this. We're going to give you a couple final words. They're all asking about his best friend, Bishop George Scott. Now, let me just tell you my take on it. Every time I would go there, we would talk, and I would say things to him. How much longer I'm going to have to be silent? And George Scott would say, "Not much longer, Vicky." Saw him in November, and David and I was back in David's office, and we ended up staying back there after he left for about an hour and a half. And but before he left, he said, "Yep, David's off the market. He's off the market." You know what I'm saying? So I can hear he's off the market. Yeah, he's off the market. So what I'm finding out is when I shared my confession, all these women that started coming out, they all kept asking me, "Where's Bishop George Scott?" Let me tell y'all something. Bishop George Scott knows all about this. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
There's no way he don't know about it. For him to tell me that, and all these women saying, because I guess they talked to him about the relationship with, so he's in on it because David pays him well. Okay? It's a very good gig for Bishop George Scott. So Bishop George Scott, if you're watching or you get this message, you'd be in a good position to go ahead and lead that man and get as far from that ministry as possible, because everybody's asking about you. Where's George Scott? He's not saying anything. Where's Bishop George Scott? So they're going to be coming looking for you because you knew about this. You knew about all the women. You're trying to make me think that I was the only one.
Yeah.
If you have Bishop George Scott at your church, you crazy, because that man is a liar and he's covering sin and he knows about all this stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get off my.
No, yeah, whenever there was a conference, he was there. There was never a conference George Scott wasn't there. I never really talked to the guy. I don't know a ton about him, except he would just go up and do his thing. But he would always have this money fixation about, let me put my hands on your offerings, let me cover in oil. And he had always this way of just, I don't know if it was insulting, but if we're just sitting there listening to the conference and just trying to soak it all in, if you're not yelling and screaming, you'd be like, "Oh, y'all quiet! Why is everyone so quiet?" Like, I don't know. He would just, I didn't really have much of an opinion about him, rather than he would always ask for money, and I could tell that Taylor was paying him well.
Well, of course he's going to get paid well, because that's what he wanted to do. I got Tony blocked. I just blocked Tony. Okay, go ahead. I got black ministry going on. Okay. Yes, because see, that's going to make David happy if he's out there raising money.
Oh yeah.
So he's working. I'm sure he got a percentage.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and then there'd always be, it got so repetitive. Just service after service, he would be like, "Oh, there's someone over here that could give 5,000. Oh, Jesus told me someone over here can give me, 3,000. And there's one person. What's that, Lord? One person here can give $100,000. And like, who is it? Come up. Don't be bold, be disobedient, be obedient to God. God knows your heart." So, it was just always this money thing with him, but. And it all ties together with the $500 a day per person, the 20.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not at all. Okay, so listen, you were amazing. We're gonna have you back on here again. We're not going anyway. So all you at JMMI, you better maybe get some more accounts, because we keep blocking y'all, and you won't be able to come here. And we've already warned everybody. Of course, you're going to.
They have 20 Facebook accounts per person. Let you know.
How many?
The Facebook team, you got about 20 Facebook accounts per person, because when you're sending out these mass messages to Facebook,
right. Facebook
has like an algorithm to detect spam, and I would be sending like 50 messages, and all of a sudden I'm blocked. I can't send any more messages, so I gotta switch to my next Facebook account, send 50 more, get blocked, and they'll keep you blocked for a couple days. So that's why you see like every single staff person, you got like I'll just see Eli, since you want to, come on here. Eli Vale. And then next email account like Elijah Vale. And next email account like Eli, just different, use various forms of his name for all these Facebook accounts. But it's the same picture. So, yeah, these guys have
20
multiple
accounts per person. I was wondering how they could send out so much, in their inbox, because Messenger, that it'll shut you down for 24 hours.
Yep, that's what it was. We were getting blocked, but you just switch to your next one. And get people to call in. That was the whole point, was get people to call in, and then you get the donations. But he passes it off as, we need to get the word out. We need to save people. People are dying every day of cancer. They need to be saved through this ministry because of my anointing and my covering and all that stuff. So
Russ,
yeah, it's a big scam. It's a numbers game. You know, you
numbers
send a number
game.
out, you're gonna get some sort
I
of
blocked Frank. I blocked Frank,
yeah.
y'all. Y'all got this block ministry. I got Frank blocked. They're all saying the same thing, and it's a big lie. And I know they got that from Michelle. They tried, but listen, Chris is credible, and you guys know. They just, you know, they're scared. They're scared over there, JMMI.
I left I don't do this as a hobby, like bashing ministries. This is I have no reason to do this except
No, I asked you. You never came
yeah.
to me and said, Vicki, let me go on Facebook Live. I said, no, Chris, you've told me so much stuff. I want you. We need to expose this. We've got to expose this this movement. Stay with this for a second, Chris. I want to address a couple things. Some of you are asking me, you know, 3 weeks ago you were promoting this movement. Absolutely. I had no idea that it was a scam, okay? When I found out that I was dating David E. Taylor, and someone inboxed me. Anyway, I'm not going through the whole story. I found out that he had other women. Now he's 38 women have inboxed me. Then I started finding out staff members telling me about this, how he scams women through the Facebook. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he copied and pasted things. I didn't know that. Now, tell about the clouds. Were you the one that told me about the clouds?
Oh,
I
clouds?
did. I already did. But they said that he photoshopped pictures of
I was told, but like right before I was about to leave, I was talking to one of the former staff members, and that former staff member told me that the clouds were photoshopped. So I don't doubt it at all. Yeah, they have this fixation about seeing Jesus in the clouds and stuff like that. God no. I mean, they got the one guy managing all the Photoshop, so maybe they just scared him to death to make all these cloud Photoshops. But yeah, I don't know. They see two circles in the clouds and they say it's eyes, and I don't know. It's
Photoshop.
yeah, I'd say it.
Yes, I did. Hang on, y'all. My sisters over here say block Jake. I know I blocked Jake.
Oh yeah, they're.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I got my big sister saying you better block Jake, and I thought I blocked
I
Jake.
mean, if you guys are listening to this, am I lying? You guys cannot say that I'm lying about all the stuff, about the beatings, about the EBT cards, about the cars crashing, about the no sleep.
Hey, listen. Hey,
I think I'm lying. Come on.
you're not lying. We listen. We've been dealing with these people for 2 weeks. They've come up. They say I'm on drugs, and my sister's right here. My family. We've never. I know. They listen. Guess what? They're lying like they normally lie, and they're yeah.
Right here, I'm not lying.
That's the EPT card. Okay,
Yeah.
but I want to say something before I get off of here, and we'll be back on here tomorrow night. We have another woman, another woman, not the other one, another woman that will be on here tomorrow night. Her name is Tanya Taylor. She was fooled by him. Spiritual daughter, said he's gonna, you know, all that stuff. Loved her, and she's gonna be on here sharing her story tomorrow night at 7:00 also. So you know, there's so many people that will be coming on here in the next few weeks. We are exposing the devil, and I blocked Fabian. I think I did, but if not, we'll go through here. You guys don't let these people disturb you, because you know they're told, you know, their cult leader has told them to come on here and lie. So you got to understand this is demonic. And we got so much information from you tonight, Chris. You're believable. I know you're a man of God, and you went there with a sincere heart. And we wish you and your wife the best. I hope I get to meet y'all someday, and we're definitely gonna meet someday. And I hope you come back on here sometime if I need you to come back on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you have my word.
Give your wife a hug for us. We're so glad that your marriage survived this horrific cult. And you guys will have a testimony. Keep all that stuff, because you know what, you could help some other people. That's my thing. I want to help other people avoid what I went through, and so that's what we're about. We're not about just yakking. No, there's a purpose and why we're doing this. Okay. Bye bye, Chris. Thank you so much.
Vicki. God bless you. Bye.
All right. Wasn't that amazing? Okay. We'll go through here and get rid of some of the crazy comments. But that was awesome. Listen, tomorrow night we'll be back on here. Somebody was asking me about something else. Oh, did I see Jesus? Did I really see Jesus? Okay, what you have to understand something. When I came across this cult and I came to minister, I was really in a place in my life that I wanted to get closer to Jesus. Okay, so I go here, face to face with Jesus. So I did read the book. A month and a half later, I was there. I saw Jesus. Has nothing to do with David Taylor. Nothing. Zero. I had a desire to see Jesus. I could have saw Jesus in my car, in my house. That doesn't mean that David E. Taylor is a man of God and that he's just, listen, your gifts and callings are without repentance. There's preachers in the pulpit living a horrific life, but people come to the altar and get saved. There's people that have a healing, they lay hands on the sick and they recover. If you ever got healed at David E. Taylor's meetings, you got healed. That he didn't heal you. That's where we're all messed up. We put so much faith in the man. David E. Taylor did not heal you. The Bible says your faith will make you whole. Your faith will make you whole. So I experienced that seeing Jesus because I had such a desire myself to see Jesus. If you got healed there, hang on to that healing because he did not heal you. Okay, now I did not get the number for the Word Network. I will have it tomorrow night, but I'm going to see if I can just tell you guys over this real quick. I might can show it, put it up here because I put on Facebook today on my page. We've got to call the Word Network, and then we're going to work on getting a really good link for you guys to shut them down on Facebook. We're going to get that happening really, really, really soon. Let me find where I posted that today about the Word Network. Okay, can y'all? Oh, there you can. There's the number to the Word Network. Okay, if you could write that down, it's 248-357-4566. Okay, so I need you guys to call the Word Network. We've got to get him off that network. I mean, he's scamming people. He's abusive to the people that work there at JMMI. And so this has just got to stop. And so I'm going to put the number to not to JMMI, but to the Word Network. Please call them. A bunch of you called today. We need to blow it up because he needs to come off the network. 248-357-4566. Okay, and that graphic is on my Facebook page. Let me get a drink. And we'll see you guys back on here tomorrow night, okay? Tomorrow night, Tanya Taylor will be on here. She's not a cousin. Of course, he told everybody that was his cousin, but she's not a cousin to him, no relation. She was someone just like me. He told her that he loved her and, all that kind of stuff. That she's going to be his wife. And she's going to be here tomorrow night. And she's going to let you see her face. We're not going to she's going to come on here and we're going to talk about it tomorrow at 7 o'clock, okay? Good night, you guys. Have a great rest of the evening. It's not about bashing JMMI. It's raising awareness. And so you guys know. Tell your friends. If anybody that you know says that, don't tell anybody, but you know what? He's my man. He loves me. He calls me, I love you, baby. He texts me all day long. Listen, it's a scam, and you need to get him out of that, okay? Good night, you guys. See you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I make it a little bit early for some worship, but we'll start with the interviews at 7 o'clock, okay? God bless.